Right, let me just check it's worked. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, I'm not sure it's worked. Hang on. Yes, we're there. I was like, oh. Hey, everyone. Good evening and welcome to our Complexion Perfection Masterclass. So this is the second of our little pop-up sort of workshops. And we wanted to basically do a class on how to get glowy, healthy skin with the help of a little bit of makeup. Now, one of the things we've all been chatting about recently is like how hard it is to get the right foundation for your skin and how to get the right shade as well. I know myself in the past, I used to buy loads of different foundations from like Boots or Superdrug or wherever it was that I was buying from. And the funny thing is, whenever I got a shade wrong or I got a foundation that didn't really sit right on my skin, I'd use it a couple of times to think like, is it really going to work for me or not? And then I'd end up throwing it away. I don't know if anybody else has done that. Like, I just really want to help women never lose money on makeup ever again. You know, like, I don't know about you girls.
Definitely, yeah.
Have you done that before, Amy?
Yeah, I've got a drawer full of foundations that I don't use because, if you've got the wrong colour or whatever. So that's why I love that we can, match a colour for you. And if it's not right, we can always refund it back till we get you the right colour. So I love that.
Amazing. It is. It's crazy how much money must be sat in your drawer.
I know.
Like, did you know? So you never ever tried to take one back because
you can't, can you, once it opens? So
no, I didn't know that. I'd never tried to do that, but I didn't realise that most won't take it back. Has that happened to you, Nicola?
Yeah, same here. I haven't ever taken anything back because I've never had that one-to-one real help. When you go into the department stores, you get a little bit, don't you? But sometimes you feel awkward. And I love that this is, much more personable.
Yeah. Brilliant. Definitely. What about you, Marie?
Yeah, I have. I've never even tried to take one back, if I'm honest. I've had lots before. Luckily, I've got a coming up 10-year-old child now who would kind of have them if that was the case. But I suppose I'm lucky for her. I found my perfect match now.
Yeah. Oh, well, anybody who's watching tonight, please let us know in the chat that we're not alone. Let us know, have you ever bought foundation and just either not loved it, it's been the wrong shade, and you've not got your money back and you've just shoved it in a drawer or in the bin? Because tonight we want to end that for you so that you never, ever throw makeup away ever again. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to get the right shade. Now, please don't get overwhelmed by this little science bit because all of us on the call tonight are trained in colour matching. So we do take that kind of struggle away from you a little bit. And like Amy said, with all the products that we use, we actually have like unlimited exchanges and refunds, full refunds if you don't love our makeup, which is very, very different by the sound of it to most department stores. So when you're trying to get the right color, there's a couple of things to take into account. And the first one is the undertone of your skin. Now, your undertone can be warm, it can be cool, or it can be neutral. So when I say warm is kind of like a yellow undertone, peach or like a golden tone. Now, like you can see me and Marie at the top of the screen are very different skin tones. I'm definitely a yellow golden tone. Now, the other undertone is like a pink or blue pinky red undertone. I would say, Marie, I don't know if you agree with me. I would say your undertone is pink. I might be wrong. I'm going to come on to the other thing for checking. Now, neutral undertone is also if you're kind of in between. Now, a way of checking your undertone if you're not sure is to actually check the veins. This is the creepy bit, isn't it? Just to check, you can't really see mine under this light, but if you check the colour of your veins, I would say mine are like a greeny colour. What would you say yours are, girls?
Mine's like green.
Green. Yeah. So, yeah, that can kind of give you a bit of a clue to what your undertone is. So I've got some notes here, girls. So if your veins are green, you're more likely to have like a warm undertone. If they're blue, you're likely to have a cool undertone. And if they're blue or green and you're not quite sure, that's where it could be like neutral. So somewhere in the middle. So that's your little bit of a science lesson. That just helps. That's just part of the colour matching process. So what you then need to work out is your skin tone. And your skin tone is basically the surface colour of your skin. So you can be fair, you can be light, you can be medium or dark. Now, I would say, let's get a little bit of a gauge from the ladies on the call here. I would probably say mine is like a fair to medium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah. What would you put yourselves at?
I'd say mine's fair to medium.
Fair.
Similar.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you've got that worked out, what we then do is you then want to look for the right shade in the foundations. Now, we're dead lucky, aren't we? We've got 25 different shades, all the way from like really, really pale all the way through to, you know, coloured skin, some really darker shades, so that we're catering for everyone. All women of all colours, basically.
Yeah.
Now, when I've been into like your beauty counters, what I've noticed is, I don't know if anyone's ever had this happen, but they get you to swatch on your wrist.
Yeah.
Now, that to me is the worst place that you could ever swatch your foundation.
Yeah, because that's dead light, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there is no way that the inside, because the inside as well, especially, it doesn't see the sun.
No, so it's really
Now, the
pale,
inside
isn't
of
it?
my wrist is way paler than my face.
Yeah, so that's just not going to work, is it?
No, so if I was to put that colour here, I'm going to look like a ghost. The best place, Marie, you're on the money there, is to actually put it on your jawline.
Yeah, but last time I went into a department store and had that done, they didn't put it on my jawline, they put it underneath.
On your neck, which again is a bit lighter, isn't it?
It's lighter, yeah. It doesn't see the sun, does it?
No.
My head didn't wear. So.
This is the thing. There is a balance between, you don't want to be as light as your neck, because if you put too pale a foundation on, it can make you look almost a bit ill, can't it, and washed out. If you go with, I'm going to use you as an example, Marie. So you've got a little bit of pink, a little bit of redness around here, haven't you? So you could actually be at risk of matching yourself wrong, because you could go here.
Yeah.
And what you need to do is kind of go in between your neck, which is too light, and here, which isn't, your balanced colour, is it? But here is, and that will balance everything out. So yeah, these are a few things that you take into account when you're colour matching. But the simplest way to get the right colour match, especially if you're looking to try something new, is to just reach out to one of us, because we colour match generally from a photo in natural light. So we get you to take a picture facing out of a window. So as if you're looking out of the window with no makeup on, and you take like a selfie style picture. We then do the rest. So we'll probably come and ask you some questions like, what colour are your veins? What's your skin tone like? And then we will do the colour matching for you. And Amy very rightly said there that we do unlimited exchanges, because we know that, switching brands or trying something new can feel a little bit risky, because you're like, I've already got a drawer full of makeup. Amy's like, I've got 10 in my drawer. Just weren't the right match. They didn't suit my skin, and I've never used them again. So you're worried then, aren't you, about trying something new? So the fact that we can exchange it multiple times until you get the perfect one is just amazing. And very rarely, I think it's only happened to me once in 7 years, was if you don't love the makeup, we give you a full refund as well, with no questions asked, which is brilliant. So yeah, what we're going to do tonight is, and before I do, the other thing that you want to consider when you're picking a foundation is, and this is a personal preference one, and it's, do you like the finish to be that matte, poreless, dry kind of look? Because I know a lot of ladies like that, especially for nights out and things. Or do you like that dewy, sort of glowy, healthy, fresh look? Because some people hate the dewy finish. Like I'm kind of a bit weird. I like both. I like a dewy finish sometimes, but then other times I want that kind of like matte look.
Yeah.
But dewy is my go-to. I don't know about what are you girls? What are you?
I like matte better.
You like matte, the drier? Yeah.
Yeah, I like the dewy.
It's weird, isn't it? It's like
Sometimes I think my face looks too greasy when it's like dewy. I don't know, you know what I mean? It looks a bit. So I'm for the matte.
I think that depends on your skin type as well to start with. So if your skin is prone to being a little bit oily and you choose a dewy finish foundation, it might add a little bit too much shine where you feel like it looks greasy. If your skin is already very dry, a matte finish just might feel too much. So it's thinking about what your personal preference is for how it looks afterwards. So I'm going to pass you over to Marie, because Marie's going to talk to you about how to best prep your skin for your foundation, because this step is like really key to getting your makeup looking good, isn't it? You know, this is the step that a lot of people miss, and it's massive. So go for it, Marie.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. And I will put my hands up and say that until probably, I don't know, 4 years ago, I never used to prime. I know. And it's kind of, it really is about prepping your skin for it. There are so many benefits to priming. I do have some geeky notes, because that's kind of what I'm known for. So, I mean, priming your skin before you put your foundation on, it's got, like I say, a whole host of benefits, one of which is smoother application. It kind of evens out the surface of your skin, so that when you do actually put your foundation on, you're putting it onto kind of a lovely canvas. So you're not getting any bobbling or, clogging and things like that. It can also, and this is a biggie for most of us, make your foundation last longer. I don't know about you, but like when I go out in the day for work, I don't want it to be sort of dripping off my face halfway through the day. Priming does make your foundation last longer. Again, this is a massive one for me personally. It can reduce the appearance of your pores. I know with the pores, again, you get that cloggy feeling. You can see it if you look up close. And putting a primer on can stop that and help with that as well. We talked a bit about oily skin just now. So there's sort of like two sides to that, really, isn't there? There's the oily and there's the dry. So different types of primer can help with either oil control, so that it keeps your makeup looking fresher for longer, or hydrating if you've got dry skin. Then depending what ingredients are in the primer, if there's like, I can never say this word, hyaluronic acid, or glycerin in there, that can help hydrate and moisturize the skin as well. I chose a mattifying face primer for my skin, and the reason for that is that it can be used for either dry or oily skin, but for me it's got the pore reducing effect. So that's why I went for the mattifying primer, that I just thought was better for my skin type. But again, obviously, we can talk to people about what might be best for them when choosing a primer as well. So I don't know about you guys. Are you, religious primers? Have you been doing it for years and years and years, or is it kind of something new?
Mine. Well? I've only just started a few years ago as well. And you can't half see a difference the way your foundation sits on your face. It just gives it a better canvas to start with, doesn't it?
It really does. It really, really does. Yeah.
I never used primer in I suppose my whole 20s and half of my 30s. I never used primer. And I used to always notice that my makeup went on good. I'm going to tell you a really personal, weird story, right? It's really weird. But I used to put my makeup on and think, that looks brilliant. But by 11 o'clock or something like that, I would look in the mirror in the bathroom if I'd gone for a night out, and I'd just think, what on earth is going on? And I don't know how many times I did this, but I do remember doing this. I used to take baby wipes in my bag, plus my foundation. I didn't redo my eyes or anything, but I used to take baby wipes in my bag, my foundation, and my powder for over the top. And when it got to about 11:30, before you move on to wherever it is you're going, I would then go in the bathroom really quickly, sit on the toilet with a little mirror, wipe my whole face off, not my eyebrow, like wipe the whole thing off, put it all back on, and then just walk out as if like I'm all just nice and fresh. But I never actually and God knows what it looked like. If I was reapplying at 11:30 in a toilet. But like in my head, it obviously wasn't staying on for long enough, or it was starting to get too greasy in certain places. And the touching up with the powder wasn't cutting it, because it had sunk and moved, and I just felt like it didn't look right. But instead of thinking maybe I need a better quality foundation, I decided to reapply in a toilet. Let's not do that, girls. Let us save you from that shameful little story of that, Chair. What about Nicola?
No, I'm a fairly newbie to primer, because basically I've always had quite a combination oily skin, so I've never used it, and I wish I had. Now my skin's older, it's drying out, and I've got patchy skin, so the primer is absolutely brilliant, because then you get your even distribution of the foundation.
I've noticed that actually, where I've got combination skin, as you can see. I've got this is where I get more oil, but I get dry here and here. And what happens is I think your makeup starts to look flaky, doesn't it? If it's not nice and supple. So
if it's not slipping off, it's
it's slipping off. Yeah.
So no, exactly what you mean.
Well, seeing as we're going to be putting a little bit of foundation on tonight, I'm going to do my priming now.
Do your primer. Right, well, I'll tell you what, while you're doing that, Marie, I'll tell you a little bit about the one that I use, because I do alternate between the two, but I've been using the hydrating primer. And the reason for that is that the dry areas have been playing up a little bit more than the oil, if that makes sense. So I've gone for the hydrating primer, and the ingredients that are in this one there's glycerin, because it's a humectant, and what that basically means is it draws water and moisture to it. It's also got water. It's like a water-based one, and it's got water break technology in it, which provides like a burst of moisture, which means it's mattifying your skin almost, but without leaving it dry. It's hydrating your skin, without leaving it, so that it's not too dry. But it's not slipping off either. So mine, I don't know if you can show a close-up, Marie, but mine is, if you just put a little bit on your finger, mine is quite a liquidy texture, so you can see it'll actually run.
It's this thing where the camera's mirrored, isn't it? So
well, yours is more of like a gel consistency, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to put mine on as well. Now, I always pay attention to the areas that I know are quite dry, so especially around the bottom of my nose and around my chin. Now, I don't think you need to have a brush to put primer on. There is a little bit of debate on this. I have had people comment on my videos sometimes and say you need to do that with a brush, but I think as long as your hands are clean, I don't really see any need for a brush for primer, to be honest, because it's not as if a brush really is there to provide even application for your makeup so that you can see that it looks nice and even. With the primer, if you're putting it all over, you're not missing anywhere on your face. That's all you need to do, really. So that's my primer that I'm using at the moment. So we thought what we'd do is just to give you a few tips and tricks on application, because this is another big one, isn't it? Now, so me and Maria are both going to demonstrate two different foundations for you. So we were thinking, because there's that difference between a dewy finish and a matte finish, we thought we'd show you one of each. So Marie's going to show you the Serum Plus foundation, which is a matte, and I'm going to show you the Stick foundation, which is a dewy finish. Now, one thing I do want to talk about before you start, though, have you got the same brush?
Ta-da.
I can't live without this brush anymore.
Fabulous.
Like, I used to put my
Brilliant.
makeup on. Again, this is probably why it was not looking great at 11:30 at night when I'd only put it on at 8, was because I used to put it on with my fingers.
Yeah.
So it wasn't going on evenly. It was like, it wasn't the best application to start with. But I was never really convinced about using a brush until I just bought it and tried it. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, this is what your makeup's supposed to look like.
I'll go further than that. I've had different brushes and I haven't found one quite like this.
I know. Now, this is the thing I was going to talk about. What you don't want for putting either of these foundations on is a fluffy, soft brush. Because what's going to happen is with a liquid foundation, it's going to disappear into the brush. And with a stick foundation, you're not really going to have enough firmness to blend it. So this type of brush is for putting like a setting powder on, just for dusting your face afterwards or touching up, if you're out. That's a handy one to have in your bag, maybe a smaller version of that. But your foundation needs to be flat, a nice wide surface and quite firm. So you can see that's not really moving. You've got that nice firm texture. That makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, right, Marie, I'll stop talking now and let you crack on.
Well, I've got the Serum Plus foundation. So because this is the foundation with the serum inside it, I now need to shake this for 30 seconds to activate the serum. So do you want to do the stick foundation?
Do the stick first. Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, not a problem. So where are we? So this is my stick foundation. So you take the top off and you just twizzle the bottom. Now, the stick foundation, this is going to give me a nice dewy finish. It's full coverage. And some of the ingredients that are in this, the one that I rave about all the time is safflower seed oil. And it's because it's a skin conditioner. So again, it's hydrating my skin. It's conditioning my skin and softening it. And it's also got, you're going to die when you hear this, because this is one of my favorite skincare ingredients, squalane. Now, squalane is in my serum that I use morning and night. It's such a powerful skin conditioner, and it's in your makeup. Like, this is the thing with mineral high quality makeup, is with no chemicals in it, we've got skincare in it. Like, we've took all the nasties out and replaced it with skincare. So you can't beat it, because you're actually giving your skin a treat at the same time as hopefully looking and feeling amazing. So let me show you how easy this is. Now, my mum doesn't wear makeup, and she can do this. In fact, I'm pretty sure I could let my 12-year-old put this on my face and it might turn out okay. So you twizzle the top up, and there is no fancy way to apply this, so you can't get it wrong. So you can just draw on your face in any particular way. I'll just put a little dab everywhere. And then all you do is get your big flat-ended brush, and I tend to just blend out from my nose. You don't want to be too harsh with it. You don't need to be. It moves very easily, so you just little circles from the inside out. Now, I'll always take it down my neck, because nobody wants, I mean, if you match good enough, this shouldn't make a difference, but I always take it down my neck. And another weird thing I do is I always go over my ears once as well, because your ears typically...
I never do that.
Do you know what, though? Your ears...
You do that before, Lisa.
You know what? If you're not someone who wears your hair up a lot, you would never notice it. But if you're a hair up kind of girl, what you'll see is, if you ever go on a night out, just
I'll be looking at
take
everyone's
notice
ears
of
now.
the girls. Take notice of the girls with the hair ups. And what you'll notice is that you will spot a few. The makeup will look absolutely flawless, but they'll have pink ears sticking out the side. So if you just give it one little swizzle over the back of your ears, everything matches then. And all I'm doing there is little circles. So you just take it round and a little bit of a blend. And I do tend to go a little bit into my hairline as well, because that's another thing you sometimes see. You know, if people have got like a really high updo, you'll see that the inside of the hairline's a different color.
Yeah.
So that is me done, girls. So
lovely.
that has given
How
me.
quick and easy was that?
How easy is that? There's no cap. And you can see straight away it's full coverage, but I've still, now I am under a selfie light, but I've got, I wouldn't say that's a, you know, a sweaty shine, but I've got that dewy
look,
sort of healthy glow to it.
Yeah, looks great.
And everything matches. So yeah.
Even your ears.
Yeah, my ears match. If I wanted to, I could put my hair up and I'd look all good. Yeah, how easy is that? And the cool thing is, you can actually stick this in your bag. So if you did need to, you know, like say you've got a spot or something and you've done your makeup and you feel like you just need to dab, I'll sometimes just dab and, you know,
blend it in.
dab
Oh,
it
yeah.
and go.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you
Lovely.
go. Right. Marie, let's see your Serum Plus.
Well, I have activated my Serum Plus.
Amazing.
So it only takes 30 seconds, so it's quick as in the morning. Literally, this comes, sorry, I'm juggling stuff. I'm gonna have to try and get it all in shot as well, aren't I?
Yeah.
So it comes with a pipette applicator. There we go.
Yeah.
And literally, I am just going to drop a couple of drops onto my brush and pop that to one side. And then I'm just going to look here because my mirror's here. I can see that better than I can see myself on screen. I'm just going to put some drops on like that all over my face.
Marie? Do you know what's amazing me there? That was 3 tiny drops.
Little drop.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I see videos
forever.
I see videos of people on TikTok and social media almost pouring foundation onto the face.
No.
You don't need that with this.
It literally, you can see, I think you can probably see it's literally to there, and I have used nowhere near that, you know, literally 3 drops, because this is buildable coverage as well. So for me tonight, you know, that's going to be plenty of coverage. So I'm just doing literally what you did, Lisa, and rubbing it in circles. If I was going on a night out, then I might want more. I might want a fuller coverage, and I can build that up by doing this over and over.
Yeah, I think that with foundation, I think it's better to start off with like 2 drops and see how it feels. And you can build up, can't you? You know,
absolutely.
You get used to it, and you know what level of coverage you like.
Yeah, absolutely. And similar to the stick foundation, the Serum Plus is also packed with skincare. So
what's in yours, Marie? What's in that one?
Oh, well, of course, it's something that I can't say, isn't it? It sounds a bit. So it's sodium hyaluronate.
Hyaluronate. You say fast.
I just can't do it. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm okay if I can kind of spell it out, you know, like you spell things out with kids. I'm fine with it like that. But yeah, basically it has that in it, which helps the skin appear healthy, hydrated and bouncy. I mean,
that's all we need, that, don't we, girls?
Well, we're not foundation, don't we?
Totally just. So yeah, there we go. That's a nice light coverage. For me, and as you can see, well, you could see my redness before.
No,
balanced
everything out, hasn't it? Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this one. I really do love this one.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you know what? Even with both, like I do use them both. But what surprised me is how you've got a full coverage foundation, but it feels really lightweight. You know, like a lot of foundations can feel cakey, and I think that's down to the ingredients, isn't it? You know, like when you've got all kinds of different additives and chemicals and things like that, they're all very pore clogging, and that's what gives you that like heavy, almost I need to wash my face feeling. Whereas mineral makeup, one of the big differences between mineral makeup and some of the stuff that you get on the high street is mineral basically essentially is breathable. So when you put it on top of your skin can still get the oxygen through it. Whereas with other makeup, if your pores are clogged, your skin is like suffocating, and that's why some people experience breakouts from makeup, whereas with ours, it can actually help your skin, which is
brilliant. Even better.
Cool. Right. I need to go back to my notes. I think that's it for tonight, isn't it, girls?
Yeah.
So if anybody's been watching or you're catching us on the replay, I know not everybody's free at 8:30 on a what day is it?
Wednesday.
We will be leaving the replay in the group, and we'll be back again tomorrow, because tomorrow we've got another really exciting class for you. We're going to be talking all about concealers and setting your makeup. So yeah, excited to be back in here. If anybody does want a colour match, just reach out to any of us, because we've all done the training and we've all got our confidence now with colour matching. And don't forget, even if you got a foundation and it was slightly too light or slightly too dark, it's absolutely no trouble to change it. And to be honest, we'd be gutted if you ever got a foundation and you didn't tell us if it wasn't right, because it's free to exchange. So we would love to do that 10 times and get you the right one, than you put something in a drawer and you've wasted your money again, because I hate to think of people doing that. So yeah, if you do want a colour match, either just drop a comment saying colour match, or just message one of us, and we will help you get sorted. So have an amazing rest of your evening, and we will see you back in here tomorrow. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.